council spends about $3 billion a year on running our city. Just 0.3 of 1% of that goes to Māori and Pacific businesses, about $9 million. Since the council's new approach, 20% of waste contracts now go to Māori and Pacifica businesses, including Trau Group, and 11% of the $100 million Eastern Busway budget. But why is it so important these firms get a bigger slice?
It's an emotional question for me.
Emotional, Latu says, because it's distributing wealth across the city and empowering communities like his in South Auckland. Talks are underway for a 5% council-wide target, which could see more local businesses like Trau Group helping their communities thrive. Cleo Fraser, Newshub.
So I came back from the United Kingdom and started my job here at the Auckland Council, and I was in charge of developing the community development strategy. And it struck me that we weren't using our most obvious and controllable lever to create social change for communities, and that was our procurement power.
Central government is one of the biggest spenders and biggest investors in our country. The money that they invest in capital projects and services, if they got on board and embraced this, you could see the delivery of the wellbeing framework, which is talked about by Treasury, by the Prime Minister.
Central government is such a big spender in our community, and at last count I believe it was $41 billion in procurement activity. That is a lot of ability to change things.
So we've established and incubated He Waka Ike Noa, which is an intermediary that connects clients and buyers to Māori and Pacifica businesses, and it's based on the Australian supply nation model, which together with the Indigenous procurement policy has proven to be a real game changer for the Indigenous economy.
With the Manukau bus station, we had 15 people we took on as apprentices, and we took them all the way through that project, and they came out with trade skills and they could go on and build a career. We couldn't have done this without the Southern Initiative.
The Eastern Busway was the Abity project. We worked on the first stage of that with Fletcher's, and then we were lucky enough to get some work with Fulton Hogan on that.
It's moving away from the notion that social procurement is just engaging some social enterprises for some low-level spend, and actually thinking more broadly and going, what are some of our bigger projects that we can use to influence these social and sustainable outcomes for Auckland?
It is difficult at times to get chances in with the others, and we're doing our best now with the social procurement from TSI to give us a hand to break down those barriers and get opportunities there.
Our people, they love it. They see this as an opportunity to deliver more than just transport. This is about delivering benefits to communities, to whānau. You're changing people's lives. We've been pleasantly surprised with some of the construction industry. They've jumped on board with this.
The Southern Initiative have done a pretty awesome job, to be honest. They've engaging both the public sector and us as Māori, private Māori and Pacific Island businesses, and dealing directly with the people in procurement that are going to be actually assessing these jobs and giving them out.
Across the 20 plus projects that we've been involved in across a range of different goods and services and works, the benefits that we've witnessed are people getting decent jobs with pay that enables them to live with dignity. Secondly is that we have created enterprise opportunities for South Aucklanders and West Aucklanders and Māori and Pacifica in particular.
Australia went from $6 million a year with Indigenous businesses pre-targets. Post-targets, they're now spending $600 million a year. Auckland Council has an enabling framework. Whilst we've made some really good strides in this in the last couple of years, I don't have that wow number of spend with Māori suppliers, so we're really keen to get that step change, and that's why we're going down the targets.
Supply Nation in Australia run the same thing. They started with 13 businesses 10 years ago, and now they have over 1,800 businesses in their fold. What they've achieved in that short space of time, in 10 years, is pretty remarkable. I was a little embarrassed, to be honest, that we haven't got an inkling towards what they've got over there.
We hear stories about people sleeping in cars at night. If you can get family members into work, it can make a real change for that whole family and for generations that come after that.
it's a case of why not rather than why at this stage.
We could focus on the pouring of concrete, the focus on people getting from A to B, but we can enable so much more with the way we go about things.
This is an opportunity to improve communities by letting them fix it themselves, you know. It's about a hand up, not a handout. It's about giving someone an opportunity that they haven't had before.
So we've really pioneered social procurement in this country, and far from the sky falling down on us, the sky has opened up and we've managed to create opportunities for Māori and Pasifika businesses that they wouldn't have been able to access otherwise. Now, if we as the whole public sector did this, then we would be creating change at scale and we would be significantly contributing to a more inclusive economy.